Hello. That Bobby said hi, Kimmy and Amber. Can you see? Hello, everyone. Make sure I set to live chat. Hello, hello, hello. Can you guys hear me okay? We've only got 3 people so far. We usually wait for a little while to get going. So. Hello, Lavonda. We had a live mix up. All right. Hi, Jennifer. Hello, Kristen. Hello, hello. Oh, did somebody give us super chat? Thank you, Bobby. Love and light to you. Let's start this off right. Apartment Saga and welcome, Amber. We will be splitting that, Bobby. That's part of it being a business. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. We appreciate that. Hello, Charles. Hello, John. Hello, Jessica. Hello, Kristen. Hello, Rosie. Hello, Angelina. Hope everybody's doing amazing tonight. You guys have heard me talk about my friend Amber. She is here with us tonight to talk about
chakras.
Chakras. So we're super, super stoked about that. We don't really have a game plan because obviously everybody's sort of quarantined and we just kind of wanted to connect with y'all. So we're going to kind of talk about the stuff that, you know, everybody knows about and also, you know, talk about our feelings about it. Because I don't know about y'all, but every once in a while, even though I know about chakras, and I don't know if you get this way, Amber, but every once in a while when I think about chakras, I think, you know, you kind of sit there and you wonder, you know, you start to second guess yourself and say, you know what, I know that that particular chakra is blocked because I'm having X, Y, or Z issue, but sometimes you just want to sit there in the pain of it and just not deal with it. So today we're kind of going to talk about the different chakras and a little bit about, you know, what you might be experiencing if they're blocked, that sort of thing, and just kind of go from there. Bo, do you do Reiki? Have they been hot because of Reiki? Because mine get really, really, really hot over Reiki. Charles thinks Shaka Khan. So Amber, just a really quick introduction. So Amber and I met in a unique way. She was bartending, so okay. She was bartending at this place that I showed up with one of my friends. And I'm not a big wine drinker, but I was going through the list and there was a wine called Taro. And so I was like, oh my gosh, I have got to have this wine. Because it was tarot, right? I mean, who wouldn't want that if you read tarot? And so she was very quiet about it. She brought the glass over and she bought the bottle and she said, I think you're probably going to want to take a picture of this, right? And I said, yes. And I start telling her about how I read tarot. And she said, so do I. And so we got to talking from there. And really that's like how it all started. But it's like soul sisters, finding your soul sister. So it was really awesome. And so she reads tarot, and she also does shamanic practitioner work as well. So she can do the shamanic journeys as well as the power animal retrievals. Hello, Lou. And so I'll let her say if there's anything else she wants to tell about her background. But please join me in welcoming Amber to the channel. Golf Club.
Thanks. There's
Can you hear Amber? Because
hello,
I'm loud.
hello,
She's not.
Hello. No, I feel like I'm just kind of winging this whole thing. I've been doing tarot for probably 3 years. 3-ish years, but there's always still more to learn. It's been a very nice healing tool for myself.
Yeah.
And it's something that hopefully I can, you know, continue to practice so that I can share with others in their own healing journey. And that's what I'm here for. We're all just going up. So.
I think that a lot of people don't think about that aspect of tarot too. You know, that it is very healing. It's very, very much a healing sort of art. And one of my greatest hopes when I work with each and every one of you is that you're able to find your happiness and the self-love within yourself to help prepare you for the next part of your journey. So I think that's absolutely wonderful. Very happy to have her here tonight. So what we're going to do, we're going to start by shuffling this wonderful chakra oracle deck. We're going to pull a chakra that way, and I'm actually going to kind of let her do a little bit more of the talking tonight.
No way.
But when we start getting into deep topics, you'll notice that when Amber and I start talking, even though I can talk a lot, when we start talking, we can go for hours. So, so hopefully y'all will enjoy this. Let's see.
So, this is exciting.
If the signal's cutting out for each and every one of you, then let me know. It might be my Wi-Fi. I might have to turn it off. And Bailey is here with us too.
So I know for myself, last week I felt very blue, very throat chakra, very expressive, not in like a speaking kind of way, but in just like a wanting to be authentic kind of way. And definitely this week, given the recent events of the world right now, I've been feeling very root chakra, very, I don't know, like blocked root chakra. Definitely a little unstable, definitely a little unsure of just...
I feel unstable, but I think that's just because Kimmy can sometimes get unstable.
Yeah.
But I'm moving, so there's that.
Yeah.
But yeah. Well, and I happened to notice that about you too last week, in terms of like, you know, throat chakra being a little bit blue. Because sometimes when you're talking with your friends, you notice if they don't talk as much, or they talk a little bit more, or if they kind of hold back a little.
No fucking way. Look at You can't make this shit up. So we have base chakra and we have honesty, truth, blue chakra and base chakra.
I love it. I love it. That's the way spirit works.
So here we are.
Welcome to my spirit-filled home, Amber.
This is what we do here.
So, where do you want to start?
Oh man.
Yeah, we should start. Let's start with that one, since that is the start.
That is the origin. That's the beginning.
Yeah.
So I think the base of the root chakra, the system, is that foundation, that the foundation that you make for yourself, your general survival needs, your food, your shelter, your, you know, everything that once all of your base needs are met, you know, you can slowly start working on the rest of your needs. And I think that's kind of, I don't know.
No, I totally agree with you. You know, when the root chakra gets blocked, it's like everything else becomes difficult.
Yeah.
Because once that's blocked, you know, the intuition becomes difficult. Sometimes thought processes do. Your ability to speak with others, I feel, it covers everything. Yeah. Absolutely everything. Now, for you, what do you do when you're a base chakra, when you feel that sort of blockage?
I feel like that's a great time to just find practices that ground you. I think it's different for everyone, like whatever you are called to. But you know, listening to music with drum beats, or just, you know, hugging a tree, just like just doing things that really make you feel...
She is being serious about hugging a tree.
Yes, absolutely serious.
She really is being serious about that.
You know, just things that make you feel part of the earth, you know, things that make you feel grounded and stable. Even when the world around you is probably a little chaotic, just being able to find a sense of stability in your world somehow. And I read somewhere too about, like, you know, eating red fruits, eating, you know, just kind of, you know, I think just
wearing red, surrounding yourself with red.
Just bringing your awareness to that chakra in ways, in all ways, you know, just making it known that you are working on healing it and unblocking it. So
I will say one thing. Do not paint your bedroom walls red. No. So, like, root chakra, that's just kind of like, let's just kind of get into red a little bit. So, feng shui, however you pronounce that crap. Anyway, I had chosen to paint my bedroom walls red when I was married. Obviously, I'm not married anymore. It probably had something to do with it. So red being in the bedroom, I thought it might, like, you know, put a little spice into the relationship. Instead, it caused anger, anger, anger. So do be careful with how much you use red too. Just kind of like a little bit of a warning on that. Now for me, I also do some extra things on top of what Amber was saying. Because you guys know I do Reiki, so of course you can do Reiki on any of the chakras. So we're not going to cover Reiki tonight, just so you guys know. Also, one more quick announcement. We're not talking about twin flames tonight. I'm twin flamed out, okay? I love y'all, but I'm twin flamed out. We're not talking about that tonight.
Focus on yourself.
So anyway, what was I talking about before that?
Red.
Red.
Too much red.
Color red, too much red. So be careful of the low, too much red. But so I do that, and I also, for me, unlike Amber, Amber's had a nice normal life. Unlike Amber, I had some really difficult things happen early on in my life, and sometimes when my root chakra gets blocked, I notice that some of those issues tend to be kind of resurfacing. So sometimes I really need to kind of work on me, work on journaling, work on, you know, personal healing of those particular trauma related issues to get past them again. It's not that they're like baggage that hangs on, but every once in a while they sometimes get triggered. So it's important for me to kind of work on that. And that all seems to stem in the root chakra for me. I also wear this particular bracelet specifically to prevent that. And it's carnelian, it's red, so think red stone too. So red stone as well also helps a lot. So that's kind of what I do with that. Can you think of anything else you'd want to talk about with
well, I feel like the root chakra is very fitting right now, just because I feel like this is also where the fear and the panic comes into play. You know, and right now we're dealing with fear of lack. You know, we're dealing with fear of unknown. You know, toilet paper. You know, when we go to our grocery store and the things that we usually get are out of stock, and you know, we're kind of in a place right now where we're being forced to switch up our routine. You know, take a step back, reevaluate, so I think if you're noticing any kind of fear in regard to your sense of security or survival, I think that's a good indicator that you might got some red chakra going on that needs a little healing. But yeah, I feel like it's pretty rooted.
I agree. So a text message just came up. If you're logged in, you know who that is. So I will talk to you about that later. So I forgot. I'm hoping I'm on Do Not Disturb, but some of you have the ability to get through. So we will talk to you later, I promise. So does anybody have any questions about the base chakra before we go on? Now there are some cards that may come out as we shuffle that may be associated with that chakra, and if something comes up specifically about a specific topic, we'll cover it when it comes up. If you notice, there is a little bug flying around. It's not making what appears to be an orb, so you should not mistake it. But does anybody have any questions about the base chakra, the root chakra, before we move on? Okay, I could not read yours. You're a little bit far away from me tonight right now, so hold on. Picking up something in the comments unrelated to the video. What are they related to? What have you had to block, Bobby? I did kind of piss somebody off this week, so I can't guarantee that it's not that person. You guys know I have a habit of, I'm intense, you know. I'm a little intense, and sometimes I come across truth. Yes, exactly. I speak truth everywhere I go, and I don't hold back. It gets me into trouble. So there may be somebody, like, I know I made somebody mad this week. Is it about that, or is it something else, Bobby? I don't want anybody in the channel to be dealing with a lot of crap. So do we need to, are you the only moderator in? Trollish comments. Okay, so basically coming in and bashing tarot and stuff, or Bobby, it looks like are you the only moderator in? Okay. Does anybody else want to be promoted to moderator that can help Bobby out with that? I think you are the only moderator in right now, dear. Lou, you can help? Okay, that would be helpful. Thank you so much. All right, Lou, test it out. All right, good, good, good. Good, good, good. Well, you need help, Bobby, because if they start bombarding you like crazy, then you're going to need more than one person. So, hello, Michelle. Hello, hello, hello. All right, thank you, guys. I really appreciate it. If we need another moderator up to help y'all just let me know. Shout it in like all caps, Bobby or Lou, and I'll see about promoting somebody else too, okay? But thank you, guys. Truly appreciate it. I know the trolls, especially on a Saturday night, can be pretty bad, and like I said, I kind of did piss somebody off just a wee bit.
They have no outlets. There's no outlets.
Yeah, now the trolls have nothing to do but sit at home and troll. So we're kind of stuck with them a little bit. Sorry, y'all. Guys, I trust you. I know that two of you can handle it. All right, so we're going to move on to our next one. Next one. The throat chakra.
Throat chakra.
And we will touch on honesty and transparency. Hold on, y'all. Y'all, I will be right back. Do not leave. I will be right back. I love y'all. Don't go anywhere. All right, sorry, y'all. Sorry. I'm getting too many texts. They're kind of distracting me, so I had to pause them. My apologies, y'all. All right, so truth, transparency, sincerity, communication.
Yes.
Communication.
Um,
I'm gonna communicate to y'all that this just might be poison. Just saying. Or hers could be. She hasn't.
yeah. I think, especially in, like, with paired together with this base chakra card, how it feels to me is, you know, in this time of what feels like some sort of de-shedding, or like just a shedding of an old way.
I think it is for a lot of people because
yeah.
they're being forced to.
Yeah. So this for me is, it just feels like, you know, finally having that opportunity to be authentically you. I had this come to me earlier, where, you know, there's always these things, you know, I've had this job, which I no longer have right now, service industry. We're gonna get through this. But you know, I've always had these things that I've wanted to do, but I just never got around to it because, you know, I'm making excuses, or I don't feel, you know, for whatever reason, you know, I've never gotten around to the things that I feel authentic to me. And now I have this opportunity to, you know, my time is a little more freed up, right?
I will say this too. You also have a friend who's not going to take your excuses.
Yes, you're right.
I am going to tell you, be authentically you. Because don't I tell y'all that? I tell y'all that all the time.
Very true.
I will not allow you to not.
Yes.
You give me an excuse and I'm going to call you out on bullshit.
Exactly.
Excuse my language, y'all.
Exactly. So I think this is just, this is a really great time. You know, right now when the world is just full of just nastiness all around, I think it's really important for those of us with some sort of passion to come forward and really express our own form of passion to inspire other people to be their most authentic, passionate selves. And
hold on 1 second.
yes.
Is the sound off for everybody or just Lou? Because if you're talking and nobody can hear you.
That's true. It wasn't meant to be.
Sound is off. Sound is off.
Oh no.
Clicked out and back and it's aligned up. All right. That's because I had to silence that text, y'all. My humblest apologies. The texts were becoming too much of a distraction. Wow, we have a lot of people in the chat. Hello, Angel. Hello, hello. Hello, everyone. Wonderful. Okay.
So that was obviously just meant for us. That was,
So the part that you didn't hear was just a message for us that we needed to be authentically us.
yeah.
And that I'm not going to put up with her excuses and she's not going to put up with mine. So there's that. So she was talking about how the two of these are kind of going together in this time frame. And I thought it was really, really a great point. So I'm going to let you carry on.
Yeah, I think in this time of, you know, we're all kind of in this place of fear or lack or just uncertainty about our stability, and I think it's important more now than ever to just come through as your most authentic self, and really just bring forward your true expression,
Right.
and like just shine a light for people who might not be as fortunate, who are still in some terrible darkness and just need to hear a kind word or a new song, or just see a little bit of beauty in the world. So
Now I will say I'm a music nut, and I loved how she said some people need to hear a new song.
Yeah.
And you know, I mean, it's true, because like for me, because music like is part of my soul, it's like I need people to kind of give me like a new song or a new person to listen to, so I can hear somebody else's viewpoint on different aspects of life, and so I can feel it in my soul. So like that aspect of communication touches me in a very deep way. And so that was very interesting that you brought that point up. That was pretty cool. I was getting really strong spirit chills as you were talking. Unfortunately, I don't remember what the spirit chills were, but I'm getting really, really strong spirit involvement in the room right now. And I think that that's also very important, because as you guys know, I do usually request for your ancestors to be present if, you know, somebody's online that might need to hear it. So I feel like this is an important message for a lot of people, because a lot of people are dealing with having to reevaluate their lives, you know, reevaluate how they do things, reevaluate, you know, where they want to be next week, next month, next year. Forget 5 to 10 years from now. Everybody's a little bit scared right now, and so they're looking at the present, and that's wonderful. I think it's fantastic to be looking at the present and kind of getting more in touch with your authentic self. Y'all, Kimmy's saying, be authentically you, no matter where you are. Be authentically you. So I feel that's you know, a really great point. Now there's a key on this particular card. What does that say to you?
I feel like keys in general are very significant. I love keys. I feel like they're very symbolic. Especially, so there's a lock in the throat, and
Mm-hmm.
she's holding the key that, you know, for me that just feels like she has the key. You know, she has her own key to unlock her own potential and her own truth, and it's there. You know, it's there for everyone.
So that was the exact same message I was getting. You know, because it shows the keyhole over the throat chakra, and it's very illuminated. And then here she holds that key. That was kind of like what I was saying earlier. You know, sometimes I personally, and I get this way, and I'm sure everybody else does. It's kind of like I was saying, you know, sometimes I know there's a blockage, but I don't want to deal with it because I'm like sitting in the pain. Because sometimes you kind of need to sit in the pain and figure it out in order to process it, get rid of it, not deal with it again, not have to have it come back up. And it's almost like she's sitting here going, you know, I have this key to unblocking this chakra, to speaking my truth, to being open and honest and expressive. But do I really feel comfortable enough to do that yet? But if she's feeling a sense of passion and enthusiasm and excitement for life and the seal for life, because that root chakra is, you know, fully functional, no blockages, at least we are a little bit closer to getting to that point of her feeling comfortable to express herself completely. I think a lot of people right now too are also sort of faced with you know, I was thinking about, I mentioned this in the live the other day. Imagine being stuck with somebody that you really don't like and you're in quarantine with them. or that you don't care for and you're in quarantine with them. like people in difficult relationships. I'm hearing of so many people breaking up and I'm hearing of so many people like reevaluating their choices and their lives. And it's some of it is because they chose not to speak their truth and settle for something that was comfortable and they didn't have to face whatever was blocking them, preventing them from expressing. That's my point. It's because I've heard a lot about a lot of people breaking up this past week, which is like, I kind of sort of felt that in the live that was going to happen, but I've been hearing about it a lot, which is shocking. Okay, our next chakra.
We have the solar plexus. We're just skipping around. This is cool though, because these cards are actually these are the actual chakras, and this is kind of,
yeah, it's almost like Spirit's giving us a message in here, and that's not what we intended to do. So it's like these are surrounding her.
They're so bright. Love them. So your solar plexus is kind of in your midsection here, and your solar plexus, from my understanding anyway, is your willpower. So you start at the base, you get your base needs met, and then you move up to your sacral chakra, which governs, your creativity, your sexual power, your, that passion center. And then when you move up to your solar plexus, it's kind of that drive to make those things come to fruition. The passion, the creativity, it's just that discipline and that willpower to actually see it through.
It's like having ambition and finally getting to where you want to go. Finally getting that, to go forward. Yeah. From a business perspective. That's what I was thinking about as you were talking. But and then as she was pointing where the solar plexus chakra is, did anybody else take martial arts as a kid? All I could think about was like punching my brother in the solar plexus. Because when we took jujitsu, like the sensei, was like, this is the solar plexus. If you hit them there, they lose their hair and they'll go down.
Yes.
So. Yeah. So, hold on. Question for Amber and Kimmy. Oops. How often should you do chakra work? Well, I do it every day. I do Reiki every day because I'm reading for you guys. I'm reading I'm doing personal readings, that sort of thing. And hey, Candy. So I'm doing personal readings and I'm doing work for other people. So I have to make sure that I don't have any blockages getting in the way of my work with y'all. So I can't have anything going on in my life or going on in my energy, my thoughts, or anything like that affecting your reading. So I work on my chakras every day. I don't know about you. What about you?
I feel pretty balanced most often. I think it's when I start to feel unbalanced in certain areas that I need to focus my attention on certain areas. I guess I don't do anything specifically. I just work to address whatever's coming up. I recently had a trigger that caused such anger, that fiery anger. And for me, that was very unusual. I hadn't had anything that triggered me that dramatically in a very long time. And it was rage. It was straight rage. And it wouldn't leave me. I could not progress any further until I dealt with it. I processed it. And it turned out, I processed it, and it was something from my childhood that I had been holding on to unconsciously for a long time. And I feel like it's still kind of there, but I'm slowly releasing it the more I nurture it, the more I just pay attention to it and don't let it have such a reactionary grasp on me.
Now see, I actually I'm kind of curious about that because if you remember, I called you not even a week before you had this incident.
Yeah.
Because I am really low key, y'all. I've been triggered by a couple people on occasion where when you hit that point and then get out of the way, but I experienced that intense rage too. And my rage seemed to be focused around, when I processed it, seemed to be focused around work ethic and how I felt like there was more I should be doing for y'all. And I was really, really frustrated about that. And then this girl, when she didn't do her job, I lost it. And I was getting like this, and it was intense rage that I had to hold back. I've never experienced that before, actually, and to that extent. And so as I dealt with it, I contacted her and I'm like, oh my gosh, I just was horrible. I just told this girl off and it was just dreadful. And I really felt horrible about it. But what it came down to was I felt like I wasn't doing enough for y'all, and I was really frustrated in it. And so when she didn't do the basic aspects of her job, the very basic, it was like at that point in time, I was thinking, you know, how in the world could you not do the basic aspects of your job? And so I unleashed the Kraken. I mean, it was just dreadful. It was dreadful. And but I wonder if there's something astrological. Maybe we should go back and look. Because it was like a short span, like in between that too. So, but I feel like I also needed to go through that though, because clearly that was something that I had held on to for a long period of time. I've always had this work ethic. Like I always push and push and push and push and push and push. I was working till 4:30 in the morning the other day. And so I push and push and push. And so it's something that I need to work on. I need to take a little bit more time for Kimmy and, you know, not be so focused in that sense. But I think for me, that blockage was the solar plex chakra. It was the chakra that we're actually talking about now. I feel like that's where it was all rooted. It was rooted in that drive, that, you know, that ambition.
Yeah.
Y'all have been talking. We can't see it too far. Like I have to sit really close and then I get like big eye. So, is somebody starting to know? Oh, the trolls. Unfortunately, it's Saturday night.
Oh my God.
I'm so sorry. It's Saturday night. The trolls are out.
That's okay. That's okay. I can't see them anyway.
Candy, you and I'll talk about that later. I think you should not even worry about it, honey. And I'll tell you why later. I couldn't respond because I was on live. But love you, dear. Big hug. Big hug. But you and I'll talk about that later. Don't even worry about it. Kimmy, I got you. Okay. Next.
Next we have physical health.
Physical
Physical
health.
health. So this is another root chakra. We have vitality, strength, body image, and balance. I know for me, this has been, we're in a public health crisis at the moment. And I feel like, you know, my best defense against this is to strengthen my immune system. So I've been paying more attention to the things I'm putting in my body, and just generally working to make myself as strong as possible. I feel like, I mean, this girl's naked. You know, just kind of being comfortable in your body.
Yeah, she's very comfortable with herself at the moment.
She's so comfortable.
We're gonna have to cover it so that we don't we don't have any issues. Yeah. So vitality. Now, body image. That's a really good point, because that wasn't something that like we brought up before. You know, how many people out there have body image issues, right? That all stems from that root chakra. And so once you get to that point where you're able to release that and unblock that chakra, then you get to a point where that doesn't become such an issue for you. You know, you don't look at yourself through the mirror in a way that's picking out your flaws. Instead, you're not even looking at yourself in the mirror looking for positive or negatives, because you're feeling that sense of balance.
Yeah.
So.
And I think once you start, you know, it's not linear, but, you know, once you start to progress up the chakra system,
Yeah.
it starts to become less about your physical anyway. You know, you wanna you start to see your body as a vessel for your spirit. You know, it's not you are not your body. You know, you're just this awesome being inhabiting a body temporarily here to just do something really cool. So I think, like, you know, body image issues, anything, just generally being too hard on yourself health-wise or physically, it's just another obstacle preventing you from like leveling up, maybe. Your body is just here to be your vehicle, to transport your soul and do your work. And your work is whatever you feel called to do here.
So anybody that's having an issue with that, I'm going to tell you what she told me to do. She called me out on worrying about something. I don't even remember what it was now. It was kind of stupid. Oh, was that Sagittarius, wasn't it? Oh, yeah. Okay, so she called me out on something. And she said, I want you to go in front of the mirror right now and say, I am beautiful, I am awesome. And I did that, and I felt so much better. At first, when she texted me, I was thinking, Amber, like, really? Like, you're telling me to go stand in front of the mirror and say that to myself. I literally was thinking, okay, you asked me to do this, I'm going to go do it because you're my friend. But then as I stood in the mirror and I did that, I'm like, I am beautiful. I am awesome. I'm beautiful. I'm awesome. And so I started to feel like 1,000 times better. But it was just like this one moment. Hold on, somebody's like yelling. Alright. I missed what y'all have been typing about, but you guys know that I do go back and I read the chat later. It's kind of hard for me to see it back here because I had to get two people in the camera. So I'm not like staring at it, but we'll do our best.
So our next card here, we're still naked. We have
We're still naked.
Still naked. We have
Which
desires.
is why we have the trolls.
Desires. We're so entertaining. So desires, goals, passion, craving, and fulfillment. So we're talking about the sacral chakra. I don't know. You take a look at that. I feel like I touched on it just, you know, to get over to solar plexus.
Well, her hands are reaching out, so she's kind of like this. All right, she's reaching out, and it's like, but she's naked, so can't show it to you. Unfortunately. However, it's like she said, it says goals, passion, craving, fulfillment. You know, and desire. So, you know, with her hands out, it's almost like she's not taking responsibility for herself, though, in that card. It's like, I'm craving this thing, I want this thing, I desire this thing, but she's not doing anything. It's like she's waiting for it to come to her, but that's really, you got to work on you. And I think that's kind of missing in that card.
Yeah.
At present. I know what they're trying to express, but does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because that's what I'm really focused on. It's like kind of like you come to me to make me feel better rather than me looking within to make myself feel better and go after my goals, go after my, you know, what it is that I desire and hope for.
Yeah. I also feel...
It's a beautiful card, though.
Yeah. So naked.
It's so naked.
So naked. I mean, I feel like the hands could also be just about receptivity.
Yes. True.
And I feel like these are, you know, so when we're talking about the root chakra, we have our primal desires, which are, you know, to be fed, you know, to have a stable, you know, roof, or at least like knowing that we can go to sleep and not have to like fend for our lives in our sleep, you know, like back in caveman days or whatever. We've reached a very nice peak in history as a humanity for comfort.
Which now people are discovering.
Yes. Let's farm. We need more farms.
Yes. Can somebody report that person? Bobby, I don't think you have, I'm gonna log on via, while she's talking, I'm gonna see if I can block that person if they come up again, okay? Love y'all.
Be nice to me.
Yeah, it's those trolls. One night, they come up and say the darndest things sometimes, I swear. Unfortunately, I've had a viewer become the disturbance once before. If y'all remember that, we ended up having to block her, which was horrible. I hated that. Oh, how cute. All right, so what do you think people would see as like, oh, and I'm looking over there at the card. What do you think, what do you think people would see if that particular chakra was blocked?
The sacral chakra. So your sacral,
sacral chakra.
Sacral chakra being blocked. I would just feel, you know, lack of creativity, just lack of wanting to produce anything, lack of wanting to make things, you know, lack of just not having a desire to get
Like
anything
sitting
done.
on the couch and doing nothing.
Yeah, well now, you know, we could use this time wisely, or, you know, Netflix. But I think, and also just being, so your sacral chakra is also, you know, your taboo chakra, because it governs your sexual nature and your,
Right.
you know, your urges, your, you know, that's also a form of creativity. It's a release. It's a, are we allowed to talk about this?
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't care.
Okay.
I mean, I may have to mark it not for children, but
Okay.
other than that, it's all right. I don't think I am marked. I think I'm marked not for children already, so I think we're all right.
So I think it would
If
also
not,
be
find out.
like a lack of desire to, you know, feel like if you don't feel sexy, or if you don't feel
Yeah.
you know, if you feel, I don't know, you just want to feel inspired, you want to feel creative, you want to feel passionate, you know, if you feel like you're lacking passion anywhere, you know, that could be a sign. It's orange, you know, so if you're seeing orange, if you're noticing more orange, or just feeling generally uninspired, you know, do something fun and maybe a little risky, or
Yes, Bobby. Guilt associated with that chakra.
oh, for sure.
Yes.
Oh my God, there's so
Absolutely.
there's so much like repressed shame.
Yeah.
Just, you know,
Yeah.
because these are also like deep dark desires. These are, you know, these are things that you're not necessarily going to express to the world, but they could be desires that fuel something that you are able to show to the world.
This may be poison.
That is a very good point.
I'm just kidding. So Michelle mentioned, so we've got like, I've got y'all down here now. So if that person comes up again, if it's not severely offensive, just let me nab it here so I can block them, okay? Hopefully that person won't come up again. I'm hoping they won't. So Michelle mentioned she's not creative, but they say Pisces are. I bet you are creative. I bet you don't realize you're creative. Because creativity doesn't necessarily have to be like with art or with like film or, you know, writing or something of that nature. You know, you could be creative in the way that you cook your food. You could be creative in the presentation that you lay at your table when you put your food down for your family or for yourself. You know, you could be creative in the way you choose your gifts for people. You can be creative in a lot of other ways, Michelle, so I'm sure.
I would say creative problem solving. I think like thinking outside the box, like unorthodox ways of thinking. Just, you know, not going with the flow, just being just a new, it's innovative, you know, just creativity is just, you know, I'm not a loss for words. It's just, you just go with it. it's really cool when you find, you know, you get into some kind of flow and then you feel like this creativity is not even, it's not even you anymore. It's just something working through your hands or through your mind, you know, just getting a vision of something that could be and then just kind of working toward it. This is cool. I like that we're kind of staying in the lower chakras. I think Spirit wants us to.
Yeah, I find that interesting, don't you?
Wants us to.
And so I just got spirit chills when you said that. I don't see our person like coming back in, so I think they've moved on to another channel. So I'm gonna shut this so that I'm not distracted by y'all, because I'd rather focus on y'all than like the thing. How long should you spend on it? Well, okay, so I'll hit on that one. So from a Reiki perspective, like when I do Reiki, and we're not talking about Reiki tonight, so just to be clear, we'll talk about that another night. But when I do Reiki, there comes a point in time where you recognize that that particular chakra is open. You can sense that, you know, you've removed the block. You're no longer feeling that some sort of sense of, like in this particular situation, we're talking about guilt, right? When you're not feeling that guilt anymore. You know, when you're feeling more balanced, when you're feeling more whole, when you're feeling like there's not anything getting in the way of your other chakras as well. Because if you have a problem with one of the lower ones, you're gonna be a little bit blocked on the uppers as well. So I think that it's really important. Like when I do Reiki, I may spend 15 minutes on one area because it's just tremendously blocked. And, you know, it's requiring me to do so. Whereas another area, it may only take a short period of time. So it really depends on the situation, the depth of what you're dealing with, how long you've been dealing with it, and whether you allow yourself to kind of go back into what did,
I don't know.
What are you laughing at? All right, y'all be careful with your the little bit that you're talking about that stuff. We don't want to go too far down that direction. Yeah, energy vampires is something we're definitely going to talk about another day. I dealt with that for 19 years, so I totally get it. So it looks like we are moving a little bit higher up the chakras now. What's our next card, Miss Amber?
So this is the mind. The mind. This is the third eye chakra. Openness, flexibility, imagination, and learning, which is cool because we were just kind of talking about that on creativity and innovation. So,
oh, we forgot to talk about colors real quick.
Yes.
So let's go back. Base chakra is red. Sacral chakra is orange. Solar plex chakra is yellow. Ah, yes. See?
It's a rainbow.
So base, sacral, solar plex. We have not yet gotten the heart or the throat, and we are on the third eye. Now there are two additional chakras, which are not on the back of that card. There's one that's about 6 inches above your head, and there's one that's about 6 inches below your feet. And also, you know, dogs and cats have another chakra too. So there's actually 10.
Let's see. What am I getting from this card?
Third eye.
Third eye. That is, for me, I feel like that's just allowing sight, you know, like that inner sight. Just that knowing. Like she has the whole universe inside of her mind. You know, she knows.
Well, that sort of reminds me of our shamanic journeying to upper world in a roundabout way.
Yeah.
Because remember, me and the other girl who's like into the Viking stuff, like me, was seeing a lot of purple. So we kept seeing purple, and that's purple. And then there was like when I went on that, remember the journey I went on when I was talking about how there was like this purple ethereal being, and it had this like cosmic look to it, which is kind of like that cosmic sort of look to the chakra here, what they're illuminating. There's like a window in this particular card, but it kind of has that cosmic sort of feel to it, you know? See? The other thing, like, when it comes to third eye, so like they're talking about aspects of the mind, but you know, as like somebody who's been intuitive since a child, whenever I think of the third eye chakra, I don't actually think about those things that are on this card actually, but those are really amazing points. I tend to focus more on like the intuitive aspect, like you were talking about. And so I tend to be very focused on intuition. Like when I meditate, I focus on visually, you know, seeing from the third eye when my eyes are closed. And which actually was a problem for me when we were journeying, because that was kind of getting in the way, my previous techniques. So I talk about openness on that card, like openness with regards to spirit guidance, universe guidance. What do you think?
Yeah, yes. The words I kept getting drawn to were flexibility and learning.
Yeah.
I think a really big process within the mind is kind of unlearning the things that we have been conditioned. It's kind of, for me, I've been noticing like patterns recently, and how my patterns are triggering these rage fits, or you know, like whatever.
The rage.
The rage fit, just one.
Yeah, just one. Just one.
But I think it's, you know, it is this openness, you know, this acceptance that everything that you were taught or everything that you think you know, maybe that's all. Maybe it's bullshit. Like maybe.
That's a really good point. No, it is. It's a really good point, because like when you, sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you.
No, please.
So like her point about having to like unlearn what you know, because you need to be open to discovering that maybe the truth or the wisdom of the universe is something that you are not conditioned to learn, not conditioned to believe in. That sense of belief, you know? And that sense of learning something that's much higher, much more important than you. You know, everybody kind of talks about that God conscience, and I'm not going to get in on that word just from a Christian perspective. But they're focusing on that energy, that ultimate energy, you know, that people are kind of tapping into and learning new things and discovering new things. I mean, when we meditate, that's often when we get that message, you know, which comes from that third eye. For me, being a clairvoyant, I know you don't have that experience because you have a different set of gifts, but there's this focus on, you know, being receptive to what we actually should be learning and knowing, which is all intuitive, you know. What did we just... Tricks to opening the third eye. Okay, well that's cool, Bub. I didn't know that. That's we just learned something. We just learned something new. That was cool. Can you think of anything else associated with the third eye?
Third eye. When you were talking about our shamanism journeying, you know, on this card it's talking about imagination. I noticed that during my journeying I did right. We had to use a sense of imagination, and then it became a little tricky to decipher what was actually, was I imagining things or was that spirit coming through to give me a message? And I think
part of that though was because you had not been exposed to clairvoyance before, and in that journey you were exposed to clairvoyance. So in that sense, it's kind of like, oh my gosh, is what I was seeing my imagination, or was what I was seeing actually spirit, because it was like opening that up for you.
Yeah.
And like during the journeying, I had clairaudience coming in, which I haven't used, and I turned it off when I was 19. I haven't used it since. And so, and it was shocking,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and I questioned it because of that.
Yeah.
And so, but you do have to use your imagination. You have to use your imagination to get to the tunnel. Once you get to the tunnel, you get through the tunnel, everything else happens on its own there. But you have to visualize yourself in the shamanic journey, going to your tunnel, going to your entry point, and that's where that imagination kicks in.
Yeah.
So I could see, like, with you not having that clairvoyance. And it was interesting because not only did we experience gifts that we typically don't use opening up during the shamanic journeying, so did my cousin Elise, and so did everybody else that we were there with. All the fellow clairvoyants were having trouble seeing in the shamanic journey, whereas the others who had not used that were starting to see. So it was really interesting. Now I did want to show one little thing. My Pisces side wants to talk about a stone related to the third eye, amethyst. I have a ton of amethyst around here, not just because of the fact that I'm a February baby, but also because it's really good for the third eye. I often will put, when I'm meditating, I put stones, the right color stones for each chakra, and I often put amethyst on my third eye.
I feel like these cards are just like jumping too much for my. They're just going all over the place now.
Well, that might be spirit.
Yeah. Okay.
Because we do have a lot of spirits that often show up here, so that's actually a good thing. Did we go backwards?
We did. We did go backwards.
Okay, no, well, maybe we're supposed to stay on it then. Which
We,
one came out?
money.
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 Money. That's
Finances.
actually focused for everybody right now, too.
Yeah. How are we gonna pay our bills?
How's everybody going to pay
How are
their
we-
bills? Especially when toilet paper goes for $100 for a 6-pack. Yeah.
Yeah, it's. I feel like for me personally, it's been. I was fortunate. I'm gonna knock on so much wood here, but I was fortunate that before this whole crash to the industry, I've saved a little bit. So my root chakra is pretty okay for right now. Right now I'm good, but I'm excited to see what other opportunities can open here. Like, I don't necessarily intend to be a bartender forever, but the skills that I've gained in this industry, I'm really.
There's always Empress Moon Tarot, like Empress
Yeah.
Moon.
Yes.
We need, I need more tarot readers,
Yeah.
more Reiki, more shamanics people.
But I
Send me
also,
email.
I mean, I feel like especially, I feel very uncertain about, how we are going to economically recover from this. Maybe it's not that bad. Maybe I'm just thinking the worst. But I think our idea of money might start shifting as well, into not as much like paper money or credit, or I think I'm hoping that we kind of shift into this place of, maybe going back to bartering, really tapping into what our value is as an individual. And
I got some paper.
Yeah.
I got some toilet paper if you
Yes.
need toilet paper.
Yes.
And then maybe you could help me learn how to do juicing so
Yeah.
that I know which vegetables and fruits go together.
Yeah. So
Barter time for time.
yes.
Time for toilet paper.
So I think this is just all about just kind of assigning value to things, like what just general, and that I feel like that's also identifying your self-worth, really understanding your worth as an individual and your worth as part of a collective. And I think this situation is not cool by any means, don't get me wrong, but it is interesting to see just the domino effect of everything.
Oh my gosh,
and
yeah.
and it's just how our individual actions are contributing to the collective everything. And this has made it so clear for me anyway. Everything we touch now, you know, is we are aware of our impact on every single thing that we touch. And it's kind of cool to see what our essential needs actually come down to. And that's, I don't know.
I find it interesting. It talks about generosity on there, right?
Yeah.
And, you know, with people hoarding the stuff, there's a lack of generosity there.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of like, well, oh my gosh, like I see a roll of like 10 toilet paper, and then I also see this, and I have to fill up the shopping cart, lest I go without. Who cares if somebody else goes without? It's kind of like the attitude that a lot of people are having.
Yeah.
They're not in touch with that generosity aspect.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Because I mean, that's just bad karma. Like
It
what
is.
goes
Don't
around
do
comes
that.
around. You know?
And it does. I tell you, it does. It does. It does.
And it hasn't appeared here yet, but that generosity comes from a place of open heart chakra. Just
So this kind of on topic, kind of off topic, y'all. I don't know if you're experiencing this or not. So I find it fascinating. It's like everybody joked about being prepared for a zombie apocalypse, right? And then you have people who have joked, well, not joked, but have been very serious about like being prepared for end of the world type situations. People who have bunkers, people who have a stockpile of stuff. And you know, I mean, I just, like today I went to a store and I had to pick up something, and I was in line to go into the store because we were only allowed a couple people in the store at the time. And it was really kind of a bizarre feeling. And it almost seems like, although I understand the essence of you know what everybody's dealing with and how frightening it is and how easily this could spread and things of that nature, but it's almost like people are a little bit over preparing as a protection mechanism, where they feel like there's the fear base, like we were talking about earlier, and here we're on that same chakra, where that fear base is even associated with money, you know, and this whole situation. And so I just find that fascinating. Fear seems to be driving a lot of people. No wonder we keep getting stuck on this chakra.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry to digress, y'all. I just like zombie apocalypse was in the brain, and I'm not one to watch what's that show? The Walking Dead. I've never watched it. So let me see. Is there anything we need to survive this? Yes. Overreacting. All right, y'all. Know that I will check chat later. All right, what came up next?
We're still going.
We're still going, unless you're done.
No, I'm not done.
Are y'all done? Do you want us to keep going?
It's like, please don't put me back in quarantine. No.
Do you want us to keep going? Oh. Sure, yes. Just a sure. Lou, you're more expressive than that. Remember the Y2K hysteria? Yeah, I do. Definitely remember that, because I was computer developing back then. So I was really faced with all the computer related stuff. You're on house lockdown. Please keep going. Hello. All right.
So
we have
crown. I want to say I think that's crown chakra. We have presence, awareness, attention, reality, and connection. Presence.
Oh my gosh, that is so beautiful. I find it interesting that they showed a child on there.
Yeah.
Because, well, is
With
she a
a
child?
bee. I think she's definitely young. This little bee swarmed me on my patio earlier, so I feel like that's a thing. Presence. I just get the feeling from this that this is not this isn't really physical. You know, this is
Right.
that energy of you know, if you have like this energy around you that people can sense or can feel, you know, just this just like the aura around you, you know, when you have presences around you, you know, or what am I trying to say here? It doesn't feel physical, and the crown
No,
chakra
it feels
would
more
not.
spiritual. It feels more spiritual.
Yes.
You know, like, not to get on Reiki again. We're not talking about it tonight, I swear. It's like there's 2 topics we're not talking about. Reiki and twin flames. So, you know, we have to open the crown chakra in order to start the whole process of the healing. So, like, we literally open up that chakra, and then we do the healing work. And so there's just something vital to that universal life force connection with regards to the crown chakra. In my opinion, it's like has a lot to do with vitality on a spiritual level,
Yeah.
rather than, you know, root level.
It's like, of course, spirit would save the heart chakra for last. It's like, I feel like when we get heart chakra, then
We're gonna get heart chakra for last, probably.
It's
Probably.
very important. The heart chakra is it feels for me like the connector between the upper and the lower, not worlds, but just the, you know, the base humanistic part of life, and then the, you know, higher spiritual wisdom parts. They just kind of meet.
They meet
at
in the
heart.
middle. Yeah.
And
I tell you, like, for me, there's 2 chakras that always I have to work on, you know, at the beginning, pretty much every morning. And that's heart chakra and throat chakra. Although light language was spoken to me, and since then I haven't had, my heart chakra was opened up. I did a lot of work on it, like, really rapidly, and I haven't had as much problem with it since. But I have had, you know, it seems to be the throat chakra tends to be an issue. I think it's just because I'm constantly speaking y'all's truths as I'm reading, and that tends to become kind of a little bit, it has to be cleared. So this crown chakra talks about reality too, so it's almost like we had a card miss. we sometimes have a card miss. You guys know that. You guys have seen it, like. So it talks about reality, that spiritual reality again that we were talking about earlier, perhaps.
right before this card came out, I was, you know, we laid it on top of the mind card, and
Yeah.
I kept wanting to say, like, your mind creates your reality, and that goes back to the patternings and the learning and the unlearning, and
Well, see, and for me, when I see the mind card, I was thinking crown, even though it was showing third eye, because I don't really necessarily think of this as the mind, you know, whereas the crown seems, the mind to me seems to be more connected to it. And we're still not on the heart chakra.
we're not, but it's okay. It's okay. So this is choice. So that we are back on solar plexus.
Solar plexus.
Free will, courage, willpower, and
Courage.
change.
Courage. I wish y'all would have more courage. Courage, bravery.
I
Notice the color though. This is kind of important. Keep talking.
I have I know this is. I'm gonna say for years I feel like my solar plexus has been blocked. Like I have great ideas. I want to do things. I have the desire to, you know, do things, but you know, making the choice to actually get these things off the ground. You know, being fearful of, you know, making the wrong choice, so you just don't make any choice. Like I'm notorious for that.
That might have to do with the Scorpio Sun though.
Yeah. Okay.
Like-
Good to know.
Because I'm always telling you not to overthink, and you're
Yeah.
always telling me not to overthink, because
Yeah.
my Scorpio Moon gets in my way.
Yeah.
And then the Pisces, like, endless loop of going back and forth doesn't help me either.
Yeah.
When you have the Pisces Moon.
Yeah.
So. Now, interesting, bravery choice, right? Which cards are associated with bravery? The Strength card, which is a Leo card. And if we look at the other Leo card, the Sun, notice the coloring on them? It's pointing to that chakra associated with that bravery, that courage, willpower, you know, I think more people need to kind of work on that.
Yeah.
Because I see a lot of people, like, without that bravery, you're not going to speak your truth. Without that bravery, you're not going to go forward and believe something that maybe perhaps other people don't believe, but you're getting a message that might be true or real for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You might be getting that awareness of something that's not quite, oh, we just got another super chat from Bobby. Thank you, Bobby.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. Bailey says thank you. It goes towards her toe. So you know, I feel like that courage is so essential. Essential to you have to have courage to love yourself. You really do, because you have to get out of that sense of feeling like you're alone, right? And you have to have courage to be able to speak your truth. You have to have courage to allow spirit to.
Ah, it's
Yes! Woohoo! We got a green
finally got the
one.
heart. Oh, and it's passion. It's passion.
Passion.
Desire, fun, fulfillment, and joy. That is so happy.
Yay!
So very happy.
I am getting spirit chills.
I love the heart. So we went kind of all over the place, but we have got them
So
all.
there were orbs around me because I'm getting spirit chills like pretty strongly. So that's not surprising. I usually always have spirits around me in some way, shape, or form.
That just feels like straight energy. That just feels like you know, the heart being the source of the source. You know, I just feel like love is the answer, guys.
Love.
And I know it's so
Okay,
cliche and trendy, but it's true.
Okay, so when you say love is the answer, I've said that before. I've used that before, but unfortunately, it's the first line of a song.
Yep.
That I don't know if you know this song. It's from Lords of Acid.
Okay.
So this particular song is not. It's about passion.
Yeah.
So it's kind of funny. So you guys hear me tell you, like, a lot of you that I work with personally, I have told you before, you know, if you want to connect with somebody that you're at a distance from, to imagine yourself surrounded by pink light and imagine your person standing in front of you and that pink light going out from your heart to theirs and them being consumed by this pink light, right? Well, you can send green too, but it's associated with the chakra. Notice the pink light. The pink light. Pink light. So if you want to send love to somebody that you're apart from, you know, that's a beautiful way to do that, is to send that pink light to them. Now, Bobby, you did ask about, you know, helping a twin with the chakra. You could try sending the, you know, colored light associated with that particular chakra to your person, and see if that helps them. So I did find that interesting.
Like, that card just made me so happy. I feel like that card made us both so happy.
That card made us both happy. Heart chakra appeared.
I love the heart.
So-
Just because you can feel when you give authentically from the heart, you can
Yes.
feel the expansion. You know, when you give from a place of authentic giving, unconditional giving, you're not giving of your time or your resources or your art or, you know, whatever. You're not giving from a place of expecting anything in return. You're giving because you want to be of service. You want to, you know, enrich somebody else's life in
Yes.
just a little way. And
You want to share unconditional love.
Yeah.
Basically, when you're giving.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it's such a good feeling, and then it just creates more good feelings, and it's just
Yes.
this ripple effect of, you know, touching someone's heart, and then they go on to touch someone else's heart, and, you know, and then that's how we get this mass awakening of
And
just,
see, that is like my ultimate goal with the channel.
Yeah.
My ultimate goal with the channel is to help people find that love within themselves, find that happiness within themselves, that they can go shed joy to others.
yes.
It's like I'd like our soul tribe to be able to come to a point where you feel that sense of inner happiness, you feel that sense of self-love, and you can go and share it with the world whether that's, you know, by smiling at somebody while you're standing in line somewhere, or, you know, opening up a door for somebody. People don't do that these days, you know. And, or, you know, doing something kind for someone, showing you care through actions, through words, through little gestures, that sort of thing, you know. And I think ultimately everything boils down to unconditional love, really. Because when you get to this point where you've worked on yourself, you have that sense of unconditional love for yourself, then when you deal with those blockages, those triggers, those things that come up that you may not have dealt with in the past, you can look at it from the standpoint of okay, you know, yes, I'm dealing with this, but I'm not a subpar person because I'm dealing with it. And you can release it and work on it much easier.
Yep.
Am I talking in a circle, or did I make sense? Because I think I was trying to, I'm like, all of a sudden I'm like, wait a minute, I'm not so sure if I was making sense.
I keep hearing, I want to clarify. I feel like the term unconditional love can get kind of tossed around, and
Yeah.
I would love to clarify that unconditional love means, right, loving, there is no condition in which I do not love you, right?
Exactly.
If there is ever, if you find yourself in a position where you are unable to show love, where you are, you know, blocked from showing love, there is a trigger there. You know, maybe there's something there that's a block. You know, there's something there that you need to work through, that you need to look at. You know, if you're holding a grudge, or if you are unable to show kindness or show compassion, you know, and love could also mean, you know, distancing yourself from somebody who is not
good for you.
good for you. It's,
Right.
You know,
Somebody who
I'm
doesn't
loving
treat
you.
you right.
I still love you, but you're not good for me. So I'm
I'm
loving you
gonna
from
love
afar.
myself more.
Yeah. I'm loving you from afar. I send you my love. No hard feelings. But yes. So there is no condition in which I do not love you. That is unconditional. I just want
It's
to.
unconditional love, man.
It feels really good. It feels really good hearing that, and saying it.
That's
So
it.
I just-
That's what I've been trying to get across to
Yeah.
them, like, forever. But, you know, don't be mad at me. Y'all don't be mad at me. I'm bringing up twin flames for 1 second. Because I have to. Because she touched on it. Like, okay, I don't know where he is. I hope he's wonderful. And y'all don't ask me any twin flame questions right now. However, like, unconditional love is there. I wish him well with his person. I wish him well in life, you know. Like, there is no condition in which I don't care about his well-being at all, or that, you know, he said or done anything that would change that. And some of you guys, sometimes when you get sort of wrapped up in like that twin journey or in another journey, I try to express that, and it sort of gets met with a little bit of a pushback, but it's honestly true. When you work on yourself and you love yourself unconditionally and you love a person unconditionally, there's not a damn thing that they could do that's going to change that love you have for them. Doesn't mean you're necessarily going to allow them in your life if they treat you bad, but good
Yes.
job.
Yes.
Well done, Amber.
And that's also where forgiveness lies.
Yes.
If you know, your unconditional means I love you.
Preach.
I love you despite all of your flaws. There is nothing that you could do that would make me not love you. And so I think there is definitely a sense of forgiveness for forgive me. I didn't know, you know, I was blind. But I forgive you for that blindness. I see your soul. I love you. I want you. So I feel like holding grudges, resentment, you know, not being able to forgive, that is also another sign of blocked heart chakra.
I gotta tell you, you're an evolved Scorpio.
Yeah.
And I mean that so lovingly towards my Scorpios. You guys know I love y'all. But that is an evolved Scorpio. That is somebody who has done work on themselves.
It's hard sometimes. It's so easy and fun to hold grudges, but it only hurts you, you know. It's
It does,
you
yeah.
holding that burning coal. It does nothing but block your heart.
Yeah, exactly.
And again, I love you no matter what, but if you're a bad influence on my life, you can't come in.
No.
But I love you anyway.
Wow.
Just know that. You're never alone. I still love you. So.
Yes, yes, yes. Well done, Amber.
That's beautiful.
All right. Well, I think we've covered all of them. We did not cover the one above or the one below. But that's okay.
I'm still haven't gotten that far yet.
That's okay. That's okay. We could, or the one with the cats and dogs. And Bailey is not going to. She's like totally out. I wish I could show you guys this. Hold on. Now I've been packing, so my place is a mess. But I'm going to show y'all Bailey for the Bailey lovers, and then we'll be right back. So just hold on one second. Let me show you Bailey. Where is she? She's out. Out, out, out. See her? All right. Hello, Amber. All right. Okay. Oh, we still need to turn it a little. There we go. Does anybody have any questions for us tonight, or want to talk about anything else while we're here? I think we've pretty much hit chakras. 80 minutes. Is that 80 minutes?
Oh wow.
We went 80 minutes for your first video. Yay. She will be back. Y'all treat her kindly. Maybe someday we'll get her doing readings
If not,
too.
I love you anyway. I love you anyway.
I hope y'all enjoyed this. You know, Amber and I get into these really deep spiritual discussions, and so literally 6 hours. We had a 6-hour discussion.
I had a lot of wine. I didn't realize it was that long. I was just having so much fun. So much fun. I looked back on my notebook. I was taking notes. I was getting really serious about it. And the next day,
we had a lot of really great creative ideas too.
I looked back at my notebook. I was like, that doesn't even look like my handwriting, but chakras was circled. We really we thought about this a little bit, and then we decided that we were just gonna kind of wing it because it felt more natural.
Yes, yes. Because I mean, we kind of, as you guys can see, our dynamic, right? Like when we talk about spiritual matters, it's like we often bring up stuff that the other one's like, oh my gosh, yeah. And so, so we literally had a 6-hour phone call, FaceTime phone call about all of this. And so, you know, good things coming, y'all. We've got, I'm not sure what our next topic was going to be. Do you remember? We had like 3 that were kind of like possibly second topic.
I'm not too certain at this point. I hope, you know, maybe it'll be music. I want to do something like fun.
Okay, music.
Music would be cool.
Y'all, I don't talk to my music man very often, so I need some more music. Y'all tell me some good songs, good. I want chill music. What do you want?
Chill music?
Like, I want chill, like the kind of chill music where you put it on, you can sit on the couch with a glass of whiskey, or you can sit with your significant other.
Yes.
You know.
I have been feeling, I think my genre recently has been chill hop, is what the kids are calling it these days.
Hop?
Chill hop, lo-fi, you know, it's with a little bit of like...
Is it kind of a little EDM-ish, or like...
It has aspects, I would say, like, you know, it still has a little bit of beat, it still might have a little bit of electronic sound, but it's mostly just really chill, vibey, minimal words.
Almost kind of like the new agey stuff of like
I would say
forever ago.
Maybe like I really like wind instruments though, so I really like the saxophone and just the flute. You know, when I get into my meditation phases, I really like, you know, Tibetan flutes and, you know, rainforest nature sounds.
Did you see the movie Serendipity?
Yes. Yes, I did.
Did you not love when he played the zither? Was that the zither or whatever? What was that guy's name? He had that kind of like whole like spiritual thing to him.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen the movie Serendipity? To know what we're talking about, we're talking about the main girl's boyfriend was like this like famous zither performer. Good night, Bobby. Thank you so much for being in tonight. Thank you for moderating, and thank you for the wonderful super chats. Truly appreciate it. Love and light to you, dear.
I think I'm
22. That's kind of cool.
It is
So
cool.
what happened earlier, I didn't tell you this earlier, tell everybody here. So I looked down at my phone, I had gotten a notification on one of the dating apps. And so I noticed when I looked down at my phone, I had 33 phone calls, I had 11 text messages, and I had 22 notifications, all 3 master numbers. And that was like, and the only other number on my phone was a 1, which I thought was like really cool.
Yes.
So send us music recommendations.
Yes. I think what I would love to discover that I haven't heard yet is like a combination, like merging of the meditation world with, you know, these jazzy sounds. You know, sounds that I could kind of drift off to if I really just let myself go. But also just keeps the beat up, keeps me you know, in it. I think I really like remixes. I like taking things that exist and making them something else. Creating new from old. I think that's, yes.
I wonder if they have anything like that up with like the binaural beats that might have that kind of sound to it, because I noticed there was some like with piano not too long ago. Maybe they've got some that are sort of similar, that have that sort of jazzy type of instruments in it.
Yes.
That would be really awesome.
Yes. But yeah, we'll probably brainstorm. I'm sure something will just come through and be like, that's it. That's the topic.
That's the topic. That's the one. Yeah. So we'll figure out what the next topic is later. Right now, she's currently available.
Available.
Thanks to COVID-19. So what we'll do is we'll figure out when the next one's going to be. Tuesday night, I will be live doing tarot. As usual, tarot. So that will be Tuesday evening. I'll probably go earlier again this week. Well, maybe, I'm not sure. I might go earlier this week, either 8:30 or 9:30, one of the two. So I don't know, maybe I'll even start earlier than that. It depends on what I've got going on. I have somebody coming in from out of town tomorrow, so I'll get back to you on time for Tuesday.
Is it really?
Yes!
Yay! Thank
Sorry,
you.
it's the TF one.
No.
So,
No.
11, make a
love it.
wish. Everybody make a wish. Make a wish. Hi, MJ. 11.
That's awesome. I think it's perfect. It's perfect.
And 11 is a very spiritual number, y'all. Y'all have seen do y'all watch Stranger Things? 11 from Stranger Things. I had her tattoo from the show put on my wrist. Because the number 11 is associated with intuition and enlightenment, things of that nature. And so I felt with my profession, my career, my business here, that it was appropriate. All right, everybody, I think we're going to let you go now. Thank you guys for making Amber feel very welcome here. Truly appreciate that. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Would love your feedback. Send me email, Empress Moon 777@gmail.com. I will be going through the chat probably tomorrow, and if anybody had anything they needed to say to me there, you know, I'll catch up to it. Also, I have not heard from the 3 people that got free readings at my birthday, so I'm going to post them again tomorrow. If I don't hear from you guys, I may have to give them to somebody else. So, you know, please reach out and email if you can. And some of you were asking for my wish list up on Amazon for tarot cards, and I'll also post that. I'll post that tonight over on the community tab. Thank you guys so much for joining us this evening. Love and light to everyone, and we shall see you soon. Big hug. Bye. Bye. Oh, I can't.